it feel like days. Only been days, but it feel like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Lacey, and I am a middle school ELA teacher, and this is Classroom Setup Part 2. It is currently Friday, and I filmed Part 1 of Classroom Setup on Monday, Tuesday, so it's only a few days later. The real reason I came is to have a meeting with my new team because I teach ELA, but I did not know who the science or social studies or math teacher was that I'm gonna work with. So we had a meeting, met each other, I asked them some questions. And since I'm here, I figured I will do a few things around the classroom. I'm not gonna do much because I am gonna come Monday and do all the things that are left to do, but I figured I will do a few things since I'm here. But the first thing that I did off camera was move the table. I'll give you a closer look in a second, but if you remember from Part 1, it was blocking the board and it would be annoying to write on the board with a table blocking it. So it is back here. I will show you a closer look because I did change it around a little bit. And then I will probably start working on the desk because I finally have my student desks. I changed the table up a little bit because if you remember, I didn't want the kids to turn in work when the table was all the way over there. So I had the turn-in bins on the bookshelf, but I ended up moving them because there is space for them. Plus, I moved this table by the door now, so there's plenty of room. I have all the student supplies still, hand sanitizer, highlighters, all that kind of stuff. I put all the paper back here, and I also had extra tape and staplers, so I went ahead and put them here, and the bins fit here nicely. It doesn't feel crammed, there's still room, and I feel like this looks a lot better. I do officially have student desks, but obviously the janitors had a lot of work to do putting them in here, so they are not quite arranged. I did this row as a tester to kind of see how I like it, and I feel like I do like to have the pairs, and it can obviously be changed, so I think I'm gonna try to do 4 rows of 6, that's 24, and then I do have a few extra desks off to the side, which I know kind of defeats the purpose because I just got rid of the table blocking the board and now I have desks blocking the board. But obviously this is a process and I'm gonna just play around with it and figure out the desk layout. Here is the layout I ended up doing. I have 4 rows of 6, so here's row number 1, here's the next one, here's the next one, and then this one is up against the wall. I have 28 desks, however, so I decided to put 2 back here because this really was awkward space. And also, sometimes you need kids to sit literally right by your desk. If you know, you know. And then I ended up keeping these 2 here because I can easily get around these desks to write on the board. And some kids like to sit alone. They don't necessarily want someone right next to them, so I think I'll make this work. And obviously desks are a lot smaller than having a huge table over here, and I left space in between right here so I can still write on the board pretty easily. This is not a board I'll use every day anyway. It's just for due dates and for whatever the skill is of the week, so I think that's fine. And obviously the table's back there, and I think it really is looking like something now. I ended up bringing my beanbag chair as well from home, and I put it back in my desk area just so it is not like an open invitation for kids to just come sit there. And then I also brought the last 2 book boxes from home, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the bookshelf because that only takes a little bit, and then I'll probably be done for the day and pick up this vlog on Monday. Guys, how did I literally have the exact amount of books that I needed? I did not have too many books, I didn't have not enough books. It was perfect. So this row is pretty plain, but for the rest of them I did a little decor. So this one has this sign that says teachers plant seeds that grow forever. I know it might be hard to see on camera, but this is not a book. This is like a decor I would maybe put on my desk. This one has the book ends just to bring some character. And then this one has the lamp, and I also put some of the books horizontal because I just wanted to switch it up. So I do like to add decor within the book. So that is done, and I am heating up my hot glue gun now to hang a few things, and then I will call it quits until Monday. I ended up getting burned a little bit by the hot glue gun, so I had to stop. But I did hang up this race poster in the front of the room so kids can reference this, because I do actually use race in my classroom. And then I did hang this poster right here above the bookshelf in the front corner. I do still want to hang something up here. That's what I was trying to do when I got burned, so I had to call it quits for today. And I also want to see if maybe there's something I can put up high up here, because I hung everything kind of low-ish. not really low, but like it's just such a big wall that I feel like I might need something else up there, so I'll figure that out Monday as well. I'm on my way out the door, but I wanted to check stuff off the checklist. I'm very visual. I like to write things down and check things off, so I checked off 4 things today. I cleared out the closet of all the random stuff that was in it from this room being storage last year, and I put my own stuff in it. It's pretty organized. And then I emptied all boxes. I have nothing left to unpack from my old classroom, which is great. I also arranged the desk with you guys, obviously, and then I finished hanging the stuff that I wanted to hang. Like I said, there is still some empty space, so I might do a little bit more work Monday. All I have to do next week is just some small things, like I want to make sure I know how to use this board, so that's why I have test the board. I do also have LED lights that go behind the board, like a TV. And then I do want to go through some of the things that were left here that I might be able to use. I threw a lot of stuff out, but there is some stuff that I can maybe find a use for. And then I do need to print some labels, like for first period, second period, third period, stuff like that. But it's just a lot of little things. It's nothing crazy. So I am gonna head out for the weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. And I'm gonna try to literally get this room 100% complete, so that way when pre-planning starts, I can focus on planning and being ahead with that. Happy Monday, we are back, and I used my lamps today. I feel like it looks a little bit darker than I would like, and I don't want anyone to have to say something to me, so I might go ahead and order one more lamp. I do have an Amazon order that is not bought yet, but it's in my cart because I wanted to use today to really see what are the last minute things I need to buy. So I think I might have to add a lamp to that, just because I feel like it's a little bit too dark, because I feel like this room is a little bit bigger than my last room. These are the same lamps I had in my last room, and it was plenty bright, but I don't know what it is about this room that makes it a little bit darker. It could be the floors. I know you can't see them right now, but they are like a carpet and it's dark, so maybe that's why, I don't know. But I am going to try to get my room at least 95% done, because again, I do have to wait on those Amazon things. We're gonna jump right in. I just had breakfast. I'm not hungry or anything. I will be here as long as I need to at least get it to 95% done. And then, like I said, we'll finish all the finishing touches once the Amazon stuff comes in. So I was gonna start easy and put these LED lights behind the screen, which is what I'm gonna do. However, last year I ordered specifically LED lights that go behind a screen, and they were literally the perfect length, and I had just enough. But as you can see, I ordered real LED lights that are like for a bedroom or something, that could literally go around this whole room, and it's very long. So I gotta figure out if there's like a way for me to cut it or something, but I do need to play around with it because I did not order the kind that specifically goes behind the screen like I did last year. I love how the LED lights turned out. I went ahead and did this board like I was wanting to do, but then I also did my wet board because I did have extra LED lights. I do think I will keep it on red most of the time because that is one of the school colors, and it does match my classroom, but it does come with a remote with all the colors if I do feel like changing it. And now I'm playing with the screen a little bit because this is a different brand than the one I'm used to, and it looks like most teachers here pretty much screen share and they connect their computer to this board, but I have always been someone who likes to have this as a standalone. So I went ahead, signed into my Google Drive, and now I'm just clicking on things in my Google Drive just to make sure that they open. Like this one, for example, is just a random argumentative PowerPoint, and it looks like all I have to do is tap the screen and then the slide will change. So that should work for me. I have no issues with that. I do also have this remote that I used last year, so that way I could literally walk around the room, and at any point in the room I'm able to switch the slide without me having to stand here and touch it all the time. I do need new batteries, but I'm definitely going to use this year. I'm definitely a PowerPoint teacher. I am very interactive and creative, but when I'm up here actually teaching, PowerPoints are just helpful. So far so good. I feel like I'm going to learn as I go with this screen. I can't really learn it all today, but we're off to a good start. So I'm gonna check off LED lights and check off testing the board and move on to a few other things. I was trying to figure out how to use the desktop and printer. So every teacher has a desktop computer and a printer in their room, which is really nice, but I'm used to a laptop. I'm not really sure how to sign into the desktop. It says no signal, so I can't do anything. Obviously, once I get in the desktop, I just have to, go to my Google Drive and everything, but I can't get in. And I was trying to print my labels, but I figured I'm just gonna sit down, and instead of making my own labels, I'm gonna see if I can find the letters. I did buy this huge pack of letters, so I might as well check. And I am going to put the labels on the board. I'm going to put the labels also on the bins for period 1, 2, 3, 4, all of that. And we're just gonna see what I can find in here because the computer is not doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not used to a desktop, so I don't know how to fix it. So I am going to just see if I can make labels out of these letters. I'm not sure I love how this looks in front of the bins, but these numbers are too tall. Like if I were to put it here, it would hang off and be bent up within a week of school. So I put them in front of the bins. Let me know how it looks. If it looks cheesy, I have time to fix it. I skipped this one because I actually will teach a ELA support class first, and then I'll have 4 sections of ELA. So I didn't label this one. Every morning before I even teach my normal ELA classes, I have to teach the ELA support class, and it is a class where they do turn in work. It's technically a second prep, so that will be interesting for me. And just let me know how that looks. I'm gonna continue to go through the letters so I can put some words up here where I write everything every day. So my goal is to put opening up here. This is usually work period and this is closing. Work period is kind of a lot of letters, so we'll see if I can find enough for that, but I should be good for opening and closing. I love how this turned out, guys. I absolutely love this composition print and how I have it sprinkled throughout the room. I typically follow the opening, work period, and closing model like I already said. That's what I did at my last school, and I like the idea of having, you know, a warm-up and then your main session and then like a ticket out the door or something. I don't write too much on here, pretty much like a bullet point. So if our warm-up is inference practice questions, I will literally just put a bullet point, inference practice questions, just a few words here and there. So I feel like there's still plenty of space for me to write. So I finished that and I went ahead and checked off the printing the labels for the board and for the bins in the back. Obviously I wasn't able to actually print them, but I made it work with the letters that I had. I did turn the lights on because even filming, I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit too dark. I need to get some more lamps. So I will work that out on Amazon when I get home. But now I think the only things left on the list are to go through some of the stuff that was left here. I cleared out the closet Friday, and so I have like a big pile of random stuff that was in the closet. So I'm gonna go through that and see if there's anything that I can actually use. Most of the stuff that was in the closet was kind of old and I figured no one would want it. So I put most of it outside in the hallway, but I did find a letter board, and then I also realized I also have a letter board. So I'm going to figure out what I want them to say, and then I will figure out where I want them. I think I'm going to just put one that says Miss Smith above my desk because I do still have some space, but I'm not sure where the other one will go, maybe outside the room or something like that. But after that, I am going to fix this bulletin board because there's a lot of space on that side, but on this side it goes all the way to the end, so it's just not centered and it bothers me. So I'm going to fix that after I figure out these letter boards. I told you in part 1 that the AC was off, but guess what? The AC's on and my room just doesn't work. So that is my situation, but hopefully they'll work on that because the kids will be here in really a week for open house, but a week and a half for school to start. I only did one letter board because it takes forever to find the letters, but I just put my name in the middle, and then I have some cutesy stuff in the corners. This is the year that they will graduate, so I am heating up my hot glue gun to put it right up here above my desk. I think that's the perfect spot. And here is a better look at the bulletin board. As you can see, everything is to the left, and there's all this space to the right, so I am gonna fix that while I'm waiting on the hot glue gun, and I'm gonna be very careful when I use hot glue today because I definitely burned myself Friday. I hung the letterboard above the desk, and I also fixed the bulletin board so everything's a little more spread out. This bulletin board bundle I got from Amazon is probably meant for a smaller bulletin board, but I had to do what I had to do and I spread it out. There's still some space on the side, but it at least looks better. And same for this side. And then as you can see, I also put this banner up here. It's not really spaced out properly. I'll do that in a second, but I've mentioned before that my color scheme is black, white, and red, and within that color scheme I've been doing the composition print. Obviously, as you saw in the front of the room and all around the room, I have the composition print, but I do also have some Apple stuff throughout the room, so I did want to include this banner, and I feel like it looks good right there. I just erased the board, and I am gonna make a pre-planning to-do list so I can start working on that on Wednesday, because my classroom is mostly out the way, but I haven't even planned what I'm doing day 1, 2, 3, etc. So obviously for pre-planning, I'm really gonna have to lock in and work on the planning stuff. I am gonna do one last tour of the room. This is not the final tour, because like I said, when I get home, I am gonna edit and post this video for you guys, and then based on your comments, I will probably make an Amazon order tomorrow just to give you guys time to give me suggestions. I know I need to get 1 or 2 more lamps, whether they're big or small, I'm not sure yet. I know I need to get a new skirt for my desk, because if you remember, the skirt that's on my desk is very raggedy, and I'm going to take that down ASAP. And then there's like a few other little things in my cart, so I'm gonna edit and post this video when I get home, so that way I can hear from you guys about what else I may need. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and do one last tour, and then you guys can help me figure out what last things I need. But I would say we're 95% done. Hopefully they'll work on this AC, because I am literally dying. So hopefully when I'm here in 2 days, working from this classroom all day from 8 to 3:30, there will have been some progress made on that. But I'm gonna give you a little tour. I'm gonna make this little list, and then I'm headed out the door. Here is the official 95% done tour. So of course, when you come in, you have this bookshelf I showed you on Friday. And then here is the student section where they will turn in work and borrow supplies like highlighters, paper, pencils, colored pencils, etc. And then on the back wall, this is what I did last week in part 1. I hung up all these posters along the wall. And then here is my desk area. I kept it pretty minimal, so I still have space to actually grade and use it. So I have a few little decor pieces, but most of it is practical, like scissors and paper clips and all of that kind of stuff. And then I do have some filing cabinets behind my desk area, so I can use it for storage. And above my desk, I have this tapestry, which I've used for a couple years now, as well as this calendar, so I can show the kids what we're up to. Here are the affirmations on this wall. And then when you keep walking, this is my sideboard where I will write their skills and the due dates for assignments. Here is where the desktop is right now, but if we don't get another laptop, I will move this to my desk, because obviously I would like to use my computer at my actual desk. And then I have some more posters and this big lamp as well. And then of course in the front of the room, I have the screen and this board that I set up with you guys a few minutes ago, as well as a few more posters and another bookshelf. And I did move the beanbag chair up here because I felt like this corner was a little bit bare. So I feel like it looks pretty good here. And then here is the bulletin board and the apples that I just hung with you guys as well. And that's pretty much it. Here is the layout of the desks. Please disregard what's on the desk, because some of them have some stuff on them right now, but that is the layout. We're gonna sit in pairs and see how that goes. But it looks like a classroom to me. I'm very excited, and I am 95% done. So that is my classroom, guys. I am going to make this quick list off camera for my to-do list for pre-planning, and then I'm gonna go home and enjoy my last couple days of summer. Please comment down below some suggestions. What can I add? What do I need from Amazon? I'm gonna wait a couple days to make the Amazon order, so I can wait for you guys to comment down below. I'm not trying to spend much. I'm very frugal, so keep that in mind. But I'm gonna end this video here. Make sure you like, share, and comment, and definitely subscribe to our channel. There will be no more classroom setup videos, but I will incorporate that in my pre-planning vlog and other teacher vlogs coming up. Teacher vlogs are back. We are back into the swing of things, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.